Hello guys, welcome to our second session where we will be talking about how to build using Azle, right? So we will be starting off this workshop very soon, right? If you have some friends who have joined yesterday as well, right, in our inaugural workshop where we talked about introduction to ICP, why ICP, what are the key components that make the tech stack of ICP as the most advanced blockchain. So we will be starting off very soon in the next 2 to 3 minute max, right? If possible, please message your friends and whoever is interested into blockchain development, right? Who's looking forward to supercharge their entrepreneurship journey, right? So we are here to help them out, right, with the projects and all, right? So yeah, we will be starting off very soon. Really happy to see some old faces as well who have joined in our first workshop as well, right? So yeah, we will be starting off very soon, right? With your development journey, right? How you can start off your building and what are the installation aspects, right? I have also already pinned the documentation, right? I see one of the key benefits of working with ICP or developing using ICP is that you'll always have very detailed documentation. Obviously, we are here to help you out, but at the same time, ICP team is has worked upon this particular aspect that whatever kind of documentation is required is being provided to the developers, right? So, in the meanwhile, if the we will be waiting for 1 or 2 minutes, right? And before starting off, you can go through that links as well, right, in the chat box and prepare for questions that you might be having from your past thing as well, right? So tomorrow's yesterday's workshop as well. I think we should start off, right? People will join up, right? And at the same time, this will be recorded so it can be referred back as and when they are required, right? So today's topic as discussed yesterday will be about how you start your development journey, your building journey on the Hazel, right? So this framework, how it will work, and what are the core structures, what are the key development environment you need to make, right? So that will be discussed, right? Over to you, Diamond. You can take over.
So yeah, today we are going to learn about how we can write code on ICP and how we are going to use TypeScript and how we can use TypeScript to write some code and write our canister smart contract. Okay, so now let's first set up our development environment. Okay, so I have already set it up. So for setting up your development environment, you need to go through these documentation. And over here, so for Windows, you need to install WSL. Okay, so WSL nothing, just a virtual environment will run the VS Code, the Linux inside your Windows. Okay, in a virtual environment. Okay, so obviously you need Linux to run this ICP development environment. Okay, so you need to install WSL2, and then you need to run these commands one by one. Okay, the very first command is to install the DFX, and then yeah, and there are more prerequisites to it, and I'm going to show you what are the things which you must install before
Can you
developing on ICP.
can you please share your screen first, right?
Oh, I forgot, my bad.
No issues.
Yeah, my screen must be visible.
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, so as you can see over here, they have told us that we can use Linux as well as Windows. So if you guys have Mac, that is also good. And if you guys have Windows, first of all, you need to install WSL2. Okay. So what is WSL2? So it is a Windows subsystem Linux. It installs the Linux environment inside your Windows PC. Okay. So first of all, you need to install that, and then you need to install Ubuntu. Okay. How you're going to install the Ubuntu? You just need to go inside Microsoft Store, and then you would be able to install Ubuntu. And after you open that Ubuntu, you need to run these commands inside Ubuntu. The very first one is to install the DFX, that is development runtime environment for ICT. Okay, so I have already installed these things, so I need not to install this. So right now I have Linux inside my PC. So let me just show you what are the things. So there are little bit more things which you must install. So let me just zoom it a little bit so that it could be properly visible. Let me just increase the text size. Okay, we can carry on it VS Code as well. So yeah, now it will be good. So yeah, the very first thing you need to have is the npm inside your PC and Node.js. Okay, so make sure you have installed these things inside your Linux environment. Okay, so those who are using WSL, they need to install these things inside their Linux environment. So so I have nvm instead of Node.js. Yeah, I have nvm, so you can install nvm as well. That would be much better than rather than just installing Node.js. Okay, so you need to install nvm, which includes npm as well. So which includes Node.js as well. So yeah, you can install Node.js, and the last thing which you need to install is this dfx, and one more thing. So the very first thing is that every TypeScript code is first converted into the Rust. Okay, so then you need to install Rust up as well. So how you are going to install the Rust up? Let me just show you. So over here, we have provided the proper documentation for it. So you need not to do anything. You just need to write sudo apt install Rust up, and it will ask for the password. Okay, it is not the dependency. Let's just search how we can install Rust up. How to install. So yeah, this is a curl command which we need to use to install the Rust up. So this is the Rust environment which we are going to use over here. So after we install this, then I think we are ready to go with the TypeScript. So we have successfully set the Rust, the TypeScript environment for running the DFX. Okay, so yeah, it will ask me for the types of installation which I want. So I have already installed that, so I need not to install it again. Okay, so I will go for cancellation. Okay, and one more thing, and at last you need to let me just give me just a second. Yeah, you need to use this command. Okay, rest up target add wasm 32. Okay, so as I told you earlier that every single code is converted into wasm file. So let me just show you the wasm file as well. So this is the wasm file. So how this is converted? This is converted using this package, that is just for wasm 32 unknown. Okay, this thing is used. Okay, to install to create the wasm file. So I have already installed this thing, so I need not to install it. Okay. So after you are done with these things, then you are good to go, and then you would be able to run your TypeScript environment of DFX inside your PC properly. Okay. So now let me just tell you how you can write some code in TypeScript. So is my screen is properly visible to everybody? I think it's this. So yeah. So over here, as you can see, they have given us a simple code snippet. Okay. So which is already there. So as you can see, these three things, that is canister, query, text, all these three things come from a package whose name is Azle. So Azle is a TypeScript framework which has been created by T-Finity. Okay. And how we're going to use this? So inside Azle, we have very different things. Okay. So let me just show you. I wrote some code snippet for you. So this is a basic application. So this is a basic attendance proof application which is written in TypeScript. So there's backend for it. Okay, I've already written backend, and you can create front end out of it as well. No need to worry about it. So we have different types inside Hazel package, and let me just provide you with the resource which we need to refer and from which we need to learn. Okay, so this is the official documentation from ICP which we need to follow. Okay, let me just provide you the link. This is the official documentation which you need to follow in order to write some code in the type. Okay, so here we go. So let's explore this documentation first, and let's see how we can write code using this documentation. So over here, they have told us how we can set up our environment, okay, and how we can deploy our project as well. And the very first thing which we need to focus is that these functions. So there are two types of functions inside uh, inside ICP, okay, in every single language, whether you write code in Motoko, whether you write code in Rust, whether you write code in TypeScript. There are two types of function in smart contract, that is query function, and the another one is update function. Okay, so there is a huge difference between these two functions, and these two functions act as an as, so these two functions are executed. Okay, whenever we call the smart contract, so these functions are responsible for doing the things which are required. Okay, so let's have a look over here, and let me just explain you this code, or we can write another code as well. So that would be much more easier for you. And as you can see over here, so they have written a simple code, and I'm going to explain you this code. Let's have a look over here. So over here, they have imported three things, that is canister, another thing is query, and at last they have text. Okay, so over here, now they have exported the entire canister. So what is this canister? So this is an package or a library inside Azle, which helps us how to deploy our canister. So this defines the canister inside TypeScript. Okay. So this defines the smart contract. So now over here they have written greet. So what is this greet? So this greet is the name of the function. Okay, the RPC. This is the name of the RPC which we are going to call. Okay. So greet is the name of the RPC, and we have query. So what is query? So this is the type of the function. Okay, what kind of function it could be. So we have a query function over here. So query functions are very fast. So let me just write a code. Let me just write some other code over here. Let's just copy this up. Let's change the name of the function. Or we can write it from scratch as well. Yeah. So let's write function name. The name of the function could be test. And so now we need to declare the type of the function. That could be query. And we need to declare the parentheses over here. So query is so query accepts and callback function inside it, as you can see over here. So this is in callback function. So now we need to declare the type of the function. So type of the argument, the type of the parameter which we are passing. Okay. So it could be text. So it could be text. Okay. And we can import nat as well. So nat16 is one of the types inside the Azle, and we can use this type as well. For now, we're going to stick with text. We're going to discuss the types as well. Don't worry about it. So now over here, we need to pass on the return type of the function. Okay, what this thing is going to return. Okay, so let's assume it is going to return bool. Okay, so it is going to return bool, and let's write the name of the parameter which we are passing. So it could be a. Okay, and now we're going to define an arrow function. Okay, and as you can see, it is giving us error just because we haven't returned anything yet. Okay, so it could be so. So it's saying okay. So now we just need to use this a, and let's see how we can use this. Okay, so let's return something. Let's return true, so that it shouldn't give us error. Okay, so as you can see, this is how we can write a simple function. Okay, so over here there would be the type of the argument. Okay, the type which we need to pass. The type of the argument would be there, and over here there would be the return type, and over here the name of the argument. Okay, and at last, so now we can do any operation with this function. Okay, so let me just concat something with this a. Okay, let's just declare a variable, let name equal to a, and if a equal to isn't. Okay, then return true. Okay, else it would return false. Okay, so this is a simple query function which we have written. which will give us the Boolean data. And as you can see, so I'm going to provide you the link of this code as well. You need not to worry about it. Okay. So yeah. So there is a syntax error. Yeah. As you can see, we have declared a function that is test, and let's deploy this function. VFX deploy. mm, Name of the backend. It would be test underscore backend. So now it will deploy. So yeah, I think that we forgot to save the changes. Let's just deploy this again. So I hope you have understood how we can write query function in the TypeScript. If you have any doubt, you can ask about it. Okay. This is how you can write the logic inside the smart contract. Okay. If we open this up and write Azle inside it, let's see what it returns. It returns as true. And if I write something else, this returns me false. So this is a basic function. So this is a query function. And how are we going to write an update function? Let's see. So let me just tell you what is the difference between query and update function. As you can see over here, query function gives us a response very quickly, isn't it? It takes us about 0.02 seconds. Yeah. On local net, it takes about 0.01 seconds. That is quite fast. Okay. And if we talk about mainnet, okay, the ICP environment, if we deploy this on blockchain, it will take about 0.02 seconds to get the response. So that is quite fast. This is because this doesn't go through the consensus. It doesn't update anything. Okay, it just does the operation which is required. Okay, that's why this is quite fast. And if we talk about update function, okay, update function is a function which goes through the consensus. If we need to update some data, okay, then only we use this function, update function. Okay, and let's just remove this from here, and let's define a update function. So let's declare a number over here first. Let's do that in the next step. Okay, let's just write an update function. So it could be so. Okay, and its type could be update. And now we just need to declare same things over here. It could be text, and return type could be text as well. And now we just need to declare an argument, the name of the argument. So it could be name and an arrow function. So yeah, so name could be return name. And now let's store this name somewhere. Okay, let name equal to, I think we can't store name like that. No, we can't do that. Or we can just declare. So let's see how we can declare the variable inside this canister. And for that, we just need to explore the types. And let me just check that out, whether which type do we have over here. Mm, So yeah, we can use stable B-tree map as well. So let me just tell you what is stable B-tree map. So let's see how we can use this. So we need to declare a variable let a stable let map, which could be equal to stable B tree map. So this would be automatically imported from the Azle. So this is a part of the Azle, so that's why. So let's see how we can declare this. So we need to declare the type of this stable B tree map. So what could be, so stable B tree map is something like key value pair. Okay. So let me just define its key. So key could be text and the value could also be in text. So instead of writing text, you can pass on object as well. So there is no need to worry about it. And yeah, so over here, there we declare the size of the B tree map. So right now the size is 0. So we're going to declare, so there's nothing inside the B tree map. So we're going to write 0 over there. And there would be text and here. So I think this is giving us error. Let's see why. I think we have did some mistake. So I think this should be outside the canister. Yeah. So inside canister, there should only be functions and only this will work. So this will not give us syntax error. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to insert something over here inside the B-tree map. So what we can do is we can use UUID. Okay. Let's install the UUID. CD test backend. So first of all, we need to go inside source file, src, and npm install UUID. Oh, yeah, now it's all right. Now we have installed the UUID, and let's import this UUID. So it could be v8. Let's okay. So it should be v4 as UUID 4 from UUID. Okay. So we have imported the UUID, and let's see how we can use this. And now, whenever we call this function, what this will do is this will store the data inside this variable, that is stable B-tree map. Okay. So I think UUID returns this data in the form of text only, so we need not to worry about it. So let me just write the logic for it in order to store the data inside stable B-tree map. Okay. So I just need to write, so inside the key. So first of all, we are going to write map dot insert, and over here we need to write what we need to insert. So the very first one would be the key. So key could be the name, and the value could be the unique ID. Okay, unique ID equals to unique ID 4 and unique ID. And yeah, so now I have successfully created the function which is going to store the data inside of a canister. So this stable B-tree map, we're going to use this to store the data inside canister. So this will store the data inside the stable memory of the canister. Okay, and let's see how we can access this data. Let me just delete this thing from here. Let's just access that data. Okay, so return type could be the text because we don't need this bool return type anymore. Okay, so now we are gonna get that same data. So for that we need to just write uh, get and pass on the name. Okay, so I just need to change the name of the argument, and here we go. And now it will return me the name. Okay, Let's execute this. So it will return me the unique ID. And let me just return the unique ID. And yeah, there won't be any error. Okay, so this gives us the optional data. So how are we going to deal with optional data? So let's see. We can use switch cases as well. Or okay, what we could do is we could write optional text. No. So let's see how we are going to deal with optional data. Okay, over here they must have given us example. Yeah, we can pass on OPT just like that. This will give us optional data. Let's see whether we passed it right or not. We just need to import OPT from base library and we are good to go. And let's deploy this project again. Okay, let's deploy this contract again. TFX deploy test underscore backend. And you can see we are just deploying this contract again. Let me just save these changes again. Okay, so I forgot to save the changes. And here we go. As you would be able to see that I will pass my name. So that name would have the unique key with it. And I'm going to get that name again. Okay, using this query function. So let me just open this link again. So as you can see, I have written, we just pass the name over here. As you can see, it took about 2 seconds to execute just because it is an update function. It's not a query function. Okay. So query function is fast just because it doesn't store the data. It is used to get the data. Okay. So the update function is used to update the data inside stable memory. Okay. So that's why it takes time. So let me just write the same name over here so that we can get the same data. So that's how we are going to store the data. Okay. So now how we can store our complex data inside this thing, the stable B-tree map. Okay. So for that, I have created a sample repository for you. Okay. So yeah, this is the thing. And I'm gonna give you the code for it. From that you can learn about it properly. And over here we have declared an object. Okay. So as you can see over here, we have declared an object and we have used that type of object inside of a stable B-tree map. And let me just give you the link first so that you can learn it properly. Just wait for a second. So there would be the link for this project, and you can refer to this project in order to learn something from this smart contract. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to drop this link in the chat box, and yeah, you can open this link and you can refer this project, and you can learn from this project and how you can store the complex data inside it. So let me just tell you one more thing and how we can declare the objects inside the canister. So that is quite different than how we declare the object inside JavaScript. So for that, we need to import a library, import an object from the Azle, that is a record. Okay, yeah. So the object could be, the name of the object could be user info. Okay, record. So this is a function which converts and record into an object. Okay, so let me just tell you how we can declare an object inside. So it could be username, username, whose type could be text, and email, email, my bad. So over here we need to put in comma. Email could be in text as well. And over here we can write phone number, which could be in number, and we can store it in text as well. Let's just write it in that. Yeah. Now we are good to go. Now we have declared an object. Now we have declared an object, and as you can see, we're going to pass the over here. We're going to pass the object inside stable B tree map. User info. I think it is giving us error. I think we need to convert this object into the type. Let's just push it up. Yeah, now it is good to go. So yeah, now this object will accept the type of user info. Okay. Now we can store user info inside this table B tree map. And let me just show you how. Now in the argument, we need to update one more thing, that is user info. And over here we need to write the okay. So I think my internet connection got disrupted. So yeah, let me just present my screen again. Yeah. So now we are going to create an object that is user info, and we are going to put some data inside it. Okay. Or we can take the argument from user on. Don't need to worry about it. So user info. Okay, it is giving us error. We just need to update one more thing. We just need to convert this thing into a type. Okay. So yeah, now we have converted this user info into a type. So there won't be any issue. Save. Let's just see what is the issue. Yeah. Over here, we need to pass the user info. Okay. Right now, it is also giving us error. Let's see how we have done it over here. So yeah, it should be all right. Mm, let's write user info over here, and it is giving us error. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to create a new object so that we can use it over here. As you can see over here, we have created an object just like user info. Okay, we need to do the same thing over here as well. So what we are going to do is we're going to create a new object that is user info, user data, and we are going to pass the same thing over here that is user ID, which would come from unique ID, and there we will have a data. So let me just pass that as well. So there we will have username. So we will get username from user info dot username, and at last we have email and phone number. We just copy this up, and we need to get this email from user info, and at last we need to get phone number from user info. Oh, there should be a phone number. So what we need to do is we need to write user data over here. Let's see what is there. Let's refer back to the docs, and it's still giving us error. So let's see what could be the error. Let's refer back to this code again. It had a quite a late little bit with its syntax. Mm, let's see what could we have been missing over here. Okay, so yeah, so there must be user data. So let's just define the type of it, which could be user info. Let me just run this out. Let's see what else we can do this to resolve this error. Oh, over here we could write user info as well, but this doesn't work. So what we could do is, so how could we declare the type? Let's see. So we must be missing something over here. Let's just deploy this thing. I think there must be some error in the IDE. Let's just wait for a second. Yeah. So yeah, this was some error of the IDE. So this wasn't the error which I was doing. Okay. So the code has been successfully compiled. Let me just open this code and let me just store some data with the name, with the name. And let me just call this up. So as you can see, this is giving us error. Yeah. So this is giving us error just because we haven't used the result data type over here. So right now we just need to import result and yeah, and the return type should be in the form of result. Let's see how we can use results as well. So over here, they must have told us how we can use result. Over here, we have results data type in it. Okay, I must have used it over here. Let us see what would be the result data type which we gonna pass in. So over here, we're just gonna pass the result just like that. And now we just need to, we just forgot about result first because it could gonna be complex. And let's just focus on this thing only, okay? Storing these things. So you can refer to this code over here. And if you have any doubt till now, you can ask about it as we just need to wrap this up and we are only left with 9 minutes. So if you have any doubt about it, how we can store the data and how we're going to deal with these things, any doubt till now? I think my video has, now it is all right. So now we are only left with 9 minutes. So if you have any doubts till now, you can ask about it. Any doubts till now? Or should we end this session?
Please let us know that if you have any questions regarding whatever, is taught today into this workshop, right? Or if everyone is clear with their things, right? We can end the session. Also, can you please give them a brief overview? What will be the next session about? Tomorrow's session, same time, same link.
So let me just check that out. That what we are going to learn tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. So the next the topic that how and why you should be building your dApp on the ICP, right? So a more detail. So today's was more of a basic overview, right? and then we will be going to the detailed coding aspects, right? Making sure you have a very wider view of how you'll be able to deploy and develop your app that, right? And we will be joining in tomorrow, same time, same link, right? So please, join in tomorrow as well, right? And if you guys face any sort of issues, please let us know. We'll be really happy to answer any of that into this, right? I think we don't have any questions today. Uh, so I think we are good to go. So we can, I think, uh, we can, I believe, end this up, right? Thank you everyone for joining it, right? It was really nice to reconnect, right? Will be very special session tomorrow, right? So really hope that everybody who was to in today's call will join up as well. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for your joining in. Thank you.